All right, today we're going to unpack a powerful idea from the philosopher Alan Watts that honestly feels more relevant now than ever before. We're talking about tackling modern anxiety, but probably not in the way you'd expect. It's not about fighting it, it's about understanding where it really comes from. So let's dive in.
So let me ask you, does this feel familiar? This constant feeling of chasing, planning, and worrying about some secure future that always seems to be just around the corner, but never quite here? It's that sense that no matter what you accomplish, boom, the goalpost moves. There's always the next thing to worry about, right? This is the starting point for everything we're about to talk about.
And if you feel this way, look, you are not alone. This feeling has a name. It's what Alan Watts called the modern anxiety trap. And it's the root cause of that low-level hum of dissatisfaction so many of us feel, even when, on paper, things are going pretty well.
So here's where the problem really takes shape. It's this fundamental clash. On one side, you have everything we're conditioned to chase: certainty, control, permanence. We want things to be predictable and stable. But then, on the other side, you have what life actually is. It's uncertain, it's constantly flowing and changing, and nothing is permanent. And Watts' big idea is that all of our anxiety lives right there, in the gap between what we want and what's real.
This all builds up to the core diagnosis that Watts offered. And get this, he wrote about this way back in 1951, which is just incredible because it's so timeless. He called it the illusion of security.
Okay, this is the crucial point, so lean in. Our suffering doesn't come from the fact that life is insecure. It comes from our desperate, unending struggle against that fact. The more we try to control every little outcome, the more anxious we become, because we're basically fighting against the nature of reality itself. It's like trying to grab a handful of water. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it just slips right through your fingers.
And that brings us to the big turning point. The solution that Watts offers is, well, it's profound. And honestly, it's completely the opposite of what you'd expect. This is where the whole thing flips on its head.
All right, you ready? The real problem, he argued, isn't the insecurity we all face every day.
It's our relentless fight against it. Yeah, that constant resistance, that tension, that refusal to just accept the nature of things. That is the true source of our pain.
So the message here is absolutely liberating. Real peace? It's not something you find waiting at some imaginary finish line where everything is finally safe and sound. Nope, it's found right here, in this moment, by having the courage to relax into the uncertainty of it all. It's a radical act of surrender.
Okay, so that's the big idea. And it sounds great, right? But you're probably thinking, how on earth do I actually do that? Well, let's get practical. Here's an action plan drawn right from Watts' work. And we're not talking about some massive overnight change. It's all about small, consistent shifts. It starts with simple things, like just a few minutes of mindfulness each day to ground yourself in the present. It's about finding those flow states, activities where you get so absorbed you totally lose track of time. And a big one is practicing letting go of our over-attachment to specific outcomes. And out of all those steps, this might be the most powerful tool. The next time you feel that spike of anxiety, just pause, stop what you're doing, and ask yourself this one question. Are you responding to what's actually happening right now, or are you reacting to a scary story your mind is telling you about the future? That simple pause can change absolutely everything.
Ultimately, you can see how all of these steps, they all point in one direction. They're all about one central practice, a deep, committed embrace of the present moment.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Every single moment is unique, it's fleeting, and when we spend our time worrying about the future, we're literally robbing ourselves of the only reality we ever truly have, which is right now. And that isn't meant to be sad, it's a powerful call to appreciate the richness of what's right in front of you.
So the great takeaway from all this is a fundamental shift in our goal. We need to stop trying to win an unwinnable war against uncertainty. Instead, we learn to dance with it. We learn to find our peace, our joy, and our meaning not in spite of life's impermanence, but because of it.
And I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. We spend so much energy trying to build walls against the fear of uncertainty. But what if embracing that very uncertainty, that open, unpredictable space, is where our truest and most profound freedom is just waiting to be found?